show. And let me tell you something. I've got to admit something to you. This is not going to be an easy show for me to do. The last thing that I ever want to do on television is give a one-hour platform to a bunch of racists, especially young kids who are racist. But I was talking with my producers today before we did this show, and we thought it was important to do because all of us need to keep our fingers on the pulse of racism. It seems every time we pick up a newspaper or reading another story about racism, intolerance, some kind of thing, whether it's black churches being bombed or Mexican immigrants being
Heads up.
upset the Jewish community. It just seems that I remember being 4 years old, growing up in North Carolina. And I remember I was in kindergarten. And we were really excited because we were going to go to this country club and go for a big picnic, and all the little kids were excited.
inside
And
the
we were
next
happy.
room.
It was spring, and I ran home.
Catching myself up.
The day of the picnic, my mother and father decided that I wasn't going to go. We were going to go visit my grandmother instead. You can imagine how upset I was about that. It wasn't until I was 16 years old that my mother and father sat me down and explained to me why little Rolanda couldn't go to that picnic. You see, I had come home one day with a note pinned to my little jacket. And it said, yes, we're having a picnic, but Rolanda can't go because they don't allow blacks in this country club. I pray that no other children have to go through that. That's why I'm going to do the show today. Let me introduce to you someone that I have met who is a very interesting man. His name is Johnny Lee Clary. And Johnny, a lot of people are going to freak out when they understand that you are the former imperial wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. Now, Johnny claims that he's a changed man now. He's not a racist anymore. And Johnny, you say that you're going to deal with some of these kids out there, some of these kids who are so racist, so bigot. You can change people? Can you really do that?
Well, I can't change them, but the Lord Jesus Christ can change them. You know, hatred stirs up dissension, but love covers all wrongs. Hatred is a learned response. You're not born with hate. You have to be taught it. And the best way to overcome an enemy is to make a friend out of him.
Well, but I'm not going to let anybody judge you today. We're going to try to keep an open mind, because I'm going to tell you, we'll be back in a minute. We've got some kids out here, and you're going to hear things that you do not agree with today. You're going to hear things that you totally agree with today. But let's try to have an open mind as we're talking to young people, to teenagers who are dealing with their own issues about race relations in America. All this week we're talking about teenagers and the things that they're thinking about, the things that are important to them, and as we enter into this new day, I think all of us want to know, what are our kids going to do about hate? Our first guests say they don't care what Johnny said backstage. They say they're never going to change their racist ways of thinking. These young people say that blacks, Mexicans, Jews, anybody who is not white should get out of America and make this a white homeland. I want you to meet 22-year-old Jeff. He's a leader of a group called the National Socialist Movement. He is joined by 17-year-old group member Bob. Guys, I gotta tell you, I don't really want to meet folks like you, but I'm going to take this chance to meet you just so I understand where you're coming from. I have to admit, I look at you, you're so young, it breaks my heart to think that you might be filled with so much hatred. Why? How'd you get involved in a group like this?
Well, let me tell you, it's not hatred, it's love for our own people, love for our own race. You have all these other races, and they can have black pride, black power, Jew power, etc., etc. But anytime a white person is to stand up and say, you know, I'm proud of being white, you know, we're shot down and said, oh, he's a racist, this and that.
But Jeff, if I'm to stand up and say black power or I love my people, I'm going to say everybody else out of America.
Need to recharge my shield.
Necessarily that we need to kick everyone out of America. We need a white homeland. And no matter
I'm
what
inside the
happens,
next
we're
room.
going to have necessary.
People who look like
Two
me
enemy
out of
squads
the
left.
homeland that my
Easy.
ancestors and my relatives helped build?
Well,
No kill leader can stop me this
you
time.
know, we want our own homeland. We just want a section of the country, and that's it. You know, you can have whatever else you want. You know, we just want a section.
But what if you want my section, where my house is? Does that mean that you're going to
Your section will have to come to our section. So we'll do whatever we have to.
Split the country up, it doesn't matter. A lot of times people will say, oh, why don't you go back to
Eyes are
Europe?
open,
Well, we
though.
can't go back to Europe. There's no, it's overrun, it's overrun. Just just like it is. Here, you look at your audience. We're filled with, you have a multiracial cesspool here in New York City. And just to get back on Johnny Lee Clary's subject, I want to say something about Johnny Lee. He's a racial traitor. He came into the movement a while back, and now he's basically saying that he doesn't believe in it anymore. He's a white racial traitor. I don't know. He's race out for a bag of nickels.
Well, this is
Recharging
the
my
type
shield.
of discussion we're going to have today, folks. What can we do to tackle talk like this? And Johnny's got a few things to say. Come out here. Tackling intolerance and racism in America. Can we do it? Stick around for this heated debate on the Oh, it really scares me. I'm so proud of this country. I am so proud to be an American. I love this country. I kiss the ground of this country. But it frightens me. It brings tears to my eyes. Like we're talking to now, 22 years old, another teenager, 17. Embarrassed or ashamed of being a racist, but because he's a minor and on television
Guess
we
I'm
have to
gonna
cover
kill
his
her.
image. These two young
Need to
men
recharge
say
my
they are
shields.
darn proud of being racist as young as they are. They say that blacks and Jews and anybody of color who's
Catching
not
myself
white
up.
needs to get out of their way because they say America ought to be a white homeland. How in the world did you guys get involved in an organization that would make you so proudly display swastikas that mean death and destruction to so many people in the world?
It was not a choice.